Good morning, everybody. Let's stand up and get some summer breezy energy going. Here we go. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Loud and clear, my soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just who I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just who I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. 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 My soul is welcome here.
Good morning. Well, we usually start off a little different, but yesterday was a mighty special day. It was Reverend Jill's birthday. And from all your little lambs, Reverend Jill, we are so blessed to have you here.
That's the wrong key, sorry. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Reverend Jill. Happy birthday to
Now, welcome to Unity of Wimberley. For those of you joining us live stream, we welcome you too and consider you a part of this community today as though you were with us in person. We gather every Sunday by divine appointment to celebrate this human journey together, and we reaffirm the divine that dwells within each of us. Now let's join on calling on this powerful resource together. There is only one presence and one power active in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotent. And let us unite our spirits as we hold this vision for our church. We are an open-hearted spiritual community, powerfully transforming our world by honoring the sacred in all. And we practice this mission. Inspired by our spiritual awakening, we offer practical teachings that empower healthy, abundant, and meaningful living. After today's daily word, there will be a congregational song in which we greet each other warmly We want to respect everyone's personal space, so if you're more comfortable with a handshake, just please extend your hand. Otherwise, you're going to get hugged up. And now with today's daily word is Claire Kohler.
Good morning. Comfort. In extending comfort to others, I find peace. The 23rd Psalm affirms comfort through the darkest valleys. At times it may seem that only by finding myself in a dark valley am I able to appreciate the spiritual substance by which I am surrounded. Faith reminds me that comfort is a quality of spirit, not dependent on conditions or circumstances in my life. This awareness aids me in being a channel of comfort and serenity for others as well. I do so by replacing drama and instant judgment with an energy of peace and love. At every opportunity, even through any seeming valleys, I find time to be still and know. Nothing can disturb the calm that I feel and the serenity that I share with others. In Psalms 23:6, surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord my whole life long.
Stand up, do some more singing, shall we? I live in the spirit of love. I live in the spirit of love. I live in the spirit of love, because love lives in me. You got it. I move in the spirit of love. I move in the spirit of love. I move in the spirit of love, because love moves in me. I reach out in the spirit of love. I reach out in the spirit of love. I reach out in the spirit of love, because love reaches out through me. So you're going to reach out to that neighbor and say good morning. in the spirit of love. in the spirit of love, because love sets us free, because love sets us free, because love sets us free. Yes.
I told ya. All right, and thank you to Kit, Jeff, and not Steve, and Rick. Jeff. It's so good to see you guys back together again in my favorite corner. At this time, we ask that you please silence your cell phones if you have not done so already. On June 17th of this year, Unity of Wimberley was the recipient of an automatic electronic defibrillator, which was donated by Jill's husband, Bill Gurasech. Yes, okay. Herself and their two sons, David and Alex, in recognition of their own family's medical emergency. This life-saving equipment will ensure the safety of our membership for years to come, and we send a heartfelt gratitude to your family, Jill and Bill, for this opportunity.
Where is it, Meg? Where's it located? In my office?
Because there is a training for this, how to use this device, on Sunday, April 29th at 12:30. Where did I? July. It's so hot right now, I just want it to be April. I'm like, yeah, because April was awesome. July 29th, 12:30 after service. Kathy Montgomery and the Wimberley EMS will be facilitating the training, and we encourage all welcome team members, staff, and anyone who is interested in learning about the safety awareness to attend. Please try to make it. This is an important meeting that will train our members as we have this better opportunity for all of us. Okay, so some of the parents are walking around with bags under their eyes this morning, and that's because we sent 4 YOUers to IYOU. They had to get up at the crack of dawn, 5 a.m., and be up at Unity Church of the Hills. I wanted to share this with you because these kids are amazing. They didn't just hop in a van and go off for a week to Unity Village. That would be great enough. But they had to get community service hours. They had to read the book Power Up by Dr. Reverend Paul Hasselbeck and write lesson plans or an essay. For all of their hard work in taking charge of their spiritual journey, they are in a van headed to Unity Village right now for a week of spiritual growth and development. So please hold them in your hearts as they travel and as they continue on their beautiful journey together. All right, next week starts the new series with Kit, the online teleseries. She will be leading us through studying the 4 agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. Here's how it works. First, you have to buy the book. There may be one in the bookstore. There is, I'm getting confirmation. And you have time to get that ordered online and have it in hand this week. Then you need a good, stable internet connection, which I understand some people are worried about, your tablet, phone, or PC, and you will interact using the Zoom teleconference app. The link will be available on the Unity of Wimberley resource page this week, on our website, and also in the newsletter coming out this week. Now, need not be afraid. Kit will be here the first Wednesday at church to help walk us through how to use the teleconference process, and then you'll be launched from there. It's super easy. You find the link, you click it, and you follow the prompts through. It's going to be great. Thank you, Kit, for this opportunity. Saturday, July 14th, is the men's breakfast that will be from 9 to 11 a.m. If you are new to Unity, please check out this amazing group of spiritual men. You can contact Mike Kemp or David Conway if you have any questions. And for the ladies, it is time to save the date for the annual Women's Retreat in Blanco, Texas. This is October 5th, 6th, and 7th. The retreat theme this year is the Women of Power, and it is perfectly facilitated by our dynamic duo of Kit Holmes and Jill Carey. If you've been to this all-inclusive retreat in the past, you know that the experience is transformative, the setting is sublime, the friendships are unforgettable, and of course, the food is exceptional. So mark your calendars. The details and dates will be coming available this week. Leah, right? Okay. And I just want to remind you all that this is open to our community first. So get your registration in early before it gets opened up to the larger community at whole. Okay, and the next Unity Supper Club will be Positively Peruvian. And as per the usual, Betty Potts is already prepared with tickets. So if you have an interest in joining this fantastic experience, please see her after the service. That's it. With our gathering prayer is Courtney Holton.
Good morning. It's an honor to be here doing the gathering prayer and gathering together, not only us together, but our own existence together. And Jesus tells us in the Gospel of Thomas in 48 that if two make peace with one another in the one house, then you can say to the mountain, move, and it will move away. And that is our thoughts and our emotions into this one house of our heart, where the communication and the language of the divine. So join with me in this morning's gathering prayer. Living, unlimited spirit in which we move and take our comfort. We recognize that always available to us is this one house where we can attune and align and to speak and communicate the language of our existence, of our divine nature. And that anytime today, this week, this month, if we are feeling overwhelmed or at a loss, all we need do is to bring the house of our thoughts, the house of our emotions, together into the one house of our heart, the intelligence of our heart, and we are connected. We are reminded of our existence, of our unlimited potential. For this recognition and for this ability to have awareness of our truth, we are grateful and we say thank you. And so it is. Amen.
Little boy in a baseball hat stands in a field with his ball and bat. He says, I am the greatest player of them all. Puts his bat on his shoulder and tosses up the ball. The ball goes up, the ball comes down, swings the bat all the way around. The world's so still you can hear the sound. The baseball falls to the ground. Now the little boy doesn't say a word, picks up his ball, he is undeterred. He says, I am the greatest there has ever been. He grits his teeth and he tries it again. The ball goes up, the ball comes down, he swings his bat all the way around. The world's so still you can hear the sound. The baseball falls to the ground. He makes no excuses, he shows no fear, just closes his eyes and listens to the cheers. Little boy, he adjusts his hat, picks up the ball and stares at the bat. Says, I am the greatest, the game is on the line, and he gives his all one last time. The ball goes up and the moon's so bright, swings the bat with all his might. The world's so still, as still can be, the baseball falls. Strike 3. Now it's supper time, and his mama calls. Little boy heads home with his bat and ball. He says, I am the greatest, and that is a fact. But even I didn't know I could pitch like that. He says, I am the greatest, that is understood, but even I didn't know I could pitch that good. Even I didn't know I could pitch that good. Is there any doubt in your mind that this little boy knew his connection to his potential? He had not yet been told that he needs to be standing in the field with a real batter. In his mind, he was having an awesome game. We have a tendency to think, our first thought is that he wasn't doing something right? In our minds, from our perspective, he was having a bad day. In his mind, it was the best day of his life. How often do we find ourselves stuck in our bad days, in having those bad days, when we're thinking nothing's going right, or we're pointing fingers at other people saying it's their fault that we're not happy? I was doing that thing we do as kids when we point fingers at other people. Yeah, you recognize one's going out, three's coming back. What's the common denominator? Me? Yeah. So this month, we're focusing on taking a breather, relaxing a little bit, easing into the heat of summer. If you've taken the classes with Jill so far, you know that you've been doing some deep work, haven't you? First in Edwin Gaines' 4 Spiritual Laws of Prosperity, and then the 5 things that we cannot change. And I know that many of you in this room were here doing that deep work. So we're going to kick back a little bit. I love baseball, obviously by that song. I've written a song called Fishing, Baseball, Boats, and Beer. There's some other things. Yes, many of you know that. To understand this, I am not one of those fanatics that goes into the stats, that knows everything about every player and every ball they ever hit or missed or caught or throw or anything like that. I like baseball for the sheer fact that it is a relaxing, easy-paced sport. And my ideal is sitting in a ballpark, watching the game, beautiful day, all that green grass, especially if it's real, not AstroTurf. Watching the sun set in the evening over the outfield, or watching the moonrise come up. The crowd, just there's joy, there's fun, there's kids running everywhere. And if you go to minor league, I like minor league ball a lot. I have to say I gave up on going to major league stadiums a long time ago. Minor league is the best. Those guys work really hard for the money, if you know. So one of my favorite movies is about baseball, of course. It's Bull Durham. Uh-huh. And if you remember the beginning of the movie, and you can Google this, she has the opening monologue that I just absolutely love, where she is making the metaphor of baseball to life, among other, some more adult enjoyments of life. I won't share that part with you. I'll just share the part that I can say in church. And this is what she says: I believe in the church of baseball. I've tried all the major religions and most of the minor ones. I've worshiped Buddha, Allah, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, trees, mushrooms, and Isadora Duncan. I know things. For instance, there's 108 beads on a Catholic rosary, and there's 108 stitches on a baseball. When I learned that, I gave Jesus a chance. It goes on, and as I said, you can Google that. And of course, baseball is our great American pastime. It's that, baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet, I think was the commercial back in the 70s, if you're old enough to remember that. And this last week, of course, we celebrated Independence Day in the United States, the 242nd birthday of our independence from British rule. So how many of you this last week got in your car or got on an airplane and traveled somewhere to visit family, to have a picnic, to go somewhere easily across the country, across state lines, across county lines? How many of you went to the grocery store to get, yes, I'm sure, lots of ice, lots of supplies for those picnics, and you were able to find pretty much everything you wanted and then some? And how many of you just this morning, came in here with your phones, and before you turned them off, which I hope you have done, you checked your messages or a Facebook post or a social media, Twitter, something? You raising your hand? Thank you. Yes. You didn't have to, but that's okay. I appreciate that. Yeah, really, it's great. So when I think about that, I think about the freedom that we have to do that. We don't even think about it anymore. It's second nature to us. We just go to the store. We expect. When we go to the cashier, we're just going to be able to buy what we want. We can cross state lines. We can cross borders, those invisible things. On the map, you see them, but on the road, unless there's a sign that says, "Welcome to Arkansas," you don't know. But that freedom, that amount of freedom that we have to do that kind of stuff, when I sit and think about it, sometimes it astounds me how much I take for granted. And one of the things that I realize that we do, that most of us do, is we take for granted the freedom that we have to do our internal work. We have that choice all the time. Last week, Reverend Jill referenced the story of Adam and Eve and why it was necessary to our growth, to our evolution as human beings, that we got kicked out of the garden. And I'll share another perspective of that with you from my big old beat-up copy of the Science of Mind textbook, Ernest Holmes. Yes, we're related. Ricky Byers told me to say that. Because when she asked me the first time I talked to her about it, I went into this long, lengthy explanation of how I hadn't tracked it down in the genealogy, and she just looked at me and she said, "Just say yes." So here's what our dear friend, Reverend Dr. Ernest Holmes, says about that. Nothing is more apparent than that man, as he now appears, is the result of evolution. But in order to evolve, he had to have a principle with a capital P from which to unfold. Since man is intelligent, he must have evolved from an intelligent cause. In studying the order of man's evolution, it seems certain that it was necessary from the time that he was brought to the point of self-choice that he be left alone to discover his true nature. And when he talks about the self-choice, that's the moment that we referred to in the Garden of Eden, when we realized we had choice. If man is endowed with the attributes of self-choice and free will, he must be allowed to make this great discovery for himself. For even God could not make a mechanical individual. What's the point? We got to have choice. Consider any of nature's forces. They must have existed always, but so far as man is concerned, they exist to be used only after he has discovered them and learned how to make use of them. Electricity was a reality when Moses led the children out of Egypt. Neither Moses nor any of his followers knew anything about it, and yet it existed. This is true of all natural laws. They have always existed, but only when they are understood may they be used. Life waits upon man's discovery of natural laws, his discovery of himself, and his discovery of his relationship to the great whole. So we have some responsibility in this, in all of this. And we always have the freedom to choose our thoughts and to choose our feelings, our perspective, our responses, our actions. Too often we seem to choose our circumstances and see them and situations as seeing them as caused by somebody else, that blame thing, that victim thing outside of ourselves. Someone else made us do something or say something that we would not have otherwise done. It's like, she made me do it. Nuh-uh. And as much as we don't like to admit it, when we do that, we give our power away again and again and again. And the flip side of that coin is we're also shirking our responsibility to know that we have the power to create our own happiness, our own peace, our own health, our own good, balanced, joyful lives. We've all heard the stories of people throughout history who have overcome tremendously painful and difficult circumstances to gain their freedom. And in return for that, they have, most of them, not by planning on it, but have changed the world and have inspired us, continue to inspire us to this day. Viktor Frankl, Nazi Germany survivor, says this: between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. And in our response lies our growth and our freedom. So in New Thought, we often make the mistake where we've learned over and over again to be affirmative. We talk, everything is positive, everything's rainbows and unicorns and woo-woo kind of stuff, even when we are in deep pain, when we have been faced with significant change and challenges. And we call that the spiritual bypass. We go, oh, it's okay, I'm good, it's all good, it's all good. But we are missing that most necessary place of feeling the human part of it, the feelings, acknowledging, saying, yeah, this hurts, this stinks. Yeah, I was going to say the other word, but I didn't. We need both. We need both sides to move through that thing. And how many, I won't ask you to raise your hands on this unless you really want to, have been through the experience where you have had, and I know many of us have, deep pain and struggle and questioning and all of those things, and we're fighting. We feel like we're fighting for our lives sometimes. And yet we go on through the pain and through the pain and through the pain. It's the hell that we keep going through. And we get to the other side, that magnificent place where suddenly there's peace. There's this just a wow. And I don't know when I cross the line. I say, I don't know when I hit that boundary. But I look back at it and I go, wow, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that I had that experience. I see lots of nodding heads. We get pushed either by, most of the time, but by what we call the cosmic 2x4, but if we do it by choice, even when we do it by choice, and we step into that because we know there is something greater, there is something deeper in us saying, yeah, they ain't no way around this, honey. You're going to have to go through it. And yet we do, and we do. And we find those people around us who don't necessarily pat us on the head and say, oh, ain't that awful? we draw to us those people who are going to hold us, hold the ground under us, firmly under the ground, and say, you know what, yeah, this really stinks right now. And the toughest thing for us to do on the outside of that is to stand back and not say, it's okay, don't worry about it, it's all going to be great, and throw those positive platitudes. Oh, don't worry about it. And it's like, no, I'm going to just sit here and listen. I'm going to hold you. I'm going to hug you. I'm going to hold your hand through this, and I'm not going to let you go. I'm not going to let you go down in that hole that you can't get out of or that you don't think you can get out of. And in those moments when we make that change, when we go through it and we feel that thing that just feels like grace, we realize we have that potential. And we go, wow, I did that. And congratulations, by the way, to all of you who have done that, where you've stepped aside and said, whoa, look at that. I'm pretty bad. Yeah, look at me go. So, what we know is that for anytime there's a prisoner, there has to be a jailer. You can't have one without the other. Most of the time, we are both of those things to ourselves. We hold ourselves, we tamp down our potential, we tamp down that freedom with our thoughts, with all that other stuff that's been circling around in our brains for a long, long time, that tape that's playing in the background saying, you're not worthy, you're not this, you're not that, not. And we finally go, okay, I surrender, I'm all that, but not in a good way. And we are the only ones that hold the key to that. Nobody else can let us out of that. It begins in mind. So at this point, you're probably asking, where's the fun? We're supposed to be having fun today and relaxing and easing in, right? Ernest Holmes again says, the road to freedom lies not through mysteries or occult performances, but through the intelligent use of natural forces and laws. That's what New Thought is. That's what metaphysics is. We are dealing with natural laws, period. And they begin in our mind. Everything begins in thought. Everything energized with feeling. Our good friend, Mr. Ralph Waldo Emerson says, let us take our bloated nothingness out of the path of the divine circuits. Meaning, let's get our egos out of the way and stop the bloody, 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 bloody. You know what I'm talking about. Whiny, poor me, and all that kind of stuff, right? Easy. Proverbs. This is the beginning of wisdom. In all you're getting, get this. Get understanding. Understand that you are divine by birthright. That you are free by birthright. You are unlimited by birthright. What's the easiest path to obtaining that freedom? The easiest one I know is to do our forgiveness work. And how do we make that easy? Just forgive everybody and everything. All the time. It's a good start. It's an easy practice. It doesn't mean letting go of. It doesn't mean forgetting. It doesn't mean looking at the other side of it and saying, that was really, really awful and that shouldn't have happened. No. It's our response to it now. Are we going to let the past drive the rest of our lives, or are we going to move forward and say, okay, from this point on, I'm not going to let somebody treat me that way. I'm not going to give away my power. I'm going to take responsibility for my own happiness and all of those things, my health, my good relationships. Is it easy? No. I'm not going to pretend that it is. But that first step, I'm responsible. And all I have to do to remember that is God is all there is. When everything else might seem to be failing, stop and take a breath and say, yeah, okay, that's right. I got somebody who's got my back. Every moment of every day. Every moment. What words are we telling ourselves? That's another thing, is watch what we say to ourselves. That tape that's playing in your head, put a big old break on that thing and notice it. Wow, I did that again. Wow, I said that again. Oh, I didn't do so I got triggered again. Dang. And take a breath and start again. The forgiveness, most of it really we need to do that for ourselves. Forgiving ourselves for those moments that we forgot that we are divine, that we are connected, that we do have supply, that we do have every idea and solution and all of those things. And I'll also suggest that joining the class on Wednesday, that's the first chapter, is be impeccable with your word. And that doesn't just mean talking to who you're talking to. It's mostly what you're saying to yourself. So we think about that little boy in a baseball hat standing in the field with his ball and bat. He's got some great words. I'm the greatest. And it's okay to say that. It's okay to get up in the morning and say, yeah, I'm pretty good. And it's really okay to get up every morning and say, this is going to be the best day of my life. No matter what has come before, no matter what happened the night before, the week before, or 10 or 20 or 50 years before, we have the choice with that unlimited potential, that unlimited freedom that we possess to wake up every morning and set the intention. This is going to be the best day ever. So thank you for being here today. I recognize and honor the greatness, the greatest in you. Namaste. And Jill's going to do our meditation for us this morning.
I love the way you get ready before I tell you to get ready. That big, well, yes, you are well trained and so obedient. And so that nice deep breath that you take so that you can let go of the next thing. And what a miracle it is that we are as free as Kit said we are. We are truly free people. The hardest part for us is convincing our busy thoughts and our conditioned responses that they are secondary to the freedom that is the gift of grace from God in us. It's that part of us that just applies the brakes before we say words we wish we hadn't. It's that part of us that catches ourselves when we think less of ourselves than the greatness that we are. It's also the part of us that catches ourselves before our greatness runs away with us and suddenly we've lost our humility. God desires, the great creative urge desires to express itself. And so we exist so that that might happen. All living things exist so that that might happen. And beloved, knowing that you are one with all things created, all people created, that is freedom. For then we realize that we are belonging to the whole, that we are not just standing alone lost with our thoughts and our misperceptions, with our judgments, with our human emotions that sweep us away sometimes. So it might be a good time for you just to put your hand on your heart and let these words echo throughout your mind and body. I am so free. Anything in me that does not feel free, show me, Spirit, so that I might release it. Anything in me that would try to tell me that I am less than a unique expression of the great cosmic oneness. Show me, so that I might release it back to the emptiness from which it came. Underneath your hand, there is an organ that is beating. And every beat of that heart, every involuntary movement is a miracle. Every breath that your lungs take to sustain your life is a miracle. Every step you take upon the earth, blessing it, is a miracle. And so now extend your knowledge of your freedom. Whether it is just beginning to grasp that concept or whether you've begun to absorb it fully, extend that to all people, everywhere. Because we want for our brothers and sisters the highest and best that we want for ourselves. We extend our freedom and our compassion to children that are trapped in a cave today. Knowing that God's presence is with them, giving them strength and courage and oxygen and hope. We extend it to our family members, especially the ones that irritate us. Knowing that there is something in us that is greater than that. And so let your blessing, your grace, right in this moment, fling itself wide, a great golden net of freedom and hope, oneness, goodness, Godness. And for the miracle of being able to do that, we give thanks. For these moments of blessed peace, we give thanks. And for the freedom of spirit, we give thanks. And so it is. Amen.
So, what I'd like us to do with this next song They're both very familiar to you, I'm sure. We're going to sing both parts separately, and then we're going to sing them together. So let's start with this one first, shall we? I am free, I am unlimited. There are no chains that bind me. I am free, I am unlimited. Right now, right now. I am free, I am unlimited. There are no chains that bind me. I am free, I am unlimited. Right now, right now. Let's do that again. I am free, I am unlimited. There are no chains that bind me. I am free, I am unlimited. Right now, right now. I am free, I am unlimited. There are no chains that bind me. I am free, I am unlimited. Right now, right now. Now, over the same music, we're going to sing the next slide, Curtis. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a soul like me. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see. Let's do that part again. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a soul like me. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see. Now Curtis is going to put the words up to both, and you get to pick which one you want to sing. It's all right. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Here we go. I am free, I am unlimited. There are no chains that bind me. I am free, I am unlimited. Right now, right now. I am free, I am unlimited. There are no chains that bind me. I am free, I am unlimited. Right now. Raise your voices, here we go. I am free, I am unlimited. There are no chains that bind me. I am free, I am unlimited. Right now, right now. I am free, I am unlimited. And no chains that bind me. I am free, I am unlimited. Right now. Let me hear even louder. I am free, I am unlimited. There are no chains that bind me. I am free, I am unlimited. Right now, right now. I am free, I am unlimited. There are no chains that bind me. I am free, I am unlimited. Right now, right now.
There are a few things that give me as much joy as hearing your voices raised in song the way you do. It is delightful. This is the time in our service where we have a chance to give back. As part of our prosperity consciousness, one of the principles that we hold to, we give where we're spiritually nourished. We're grateful for these gifts, and we know that Spirit is working through us to support all that is needed for our community and beyond our community. So let's take this moment to bring these gifts to our hearts as we prepare our offerings and as our ushers come forward now. And we offer this affirmation of abundance together. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
Stay awake and pay attention. Hold your thoughts in suspension. Do you know you're already free? Give and take, flow and tension, yin and yang, soul's extension. Do you know you're already free? You're already free. It's who you are. The good life is waiting on you. You're already free. The door's ajar. Are you gonna walk through? Here's your break. Defy convention and trust your heart's comprehension, 'cause it knows you're already free. What's at stake? Your good intentions. It's your choice. Did I mention you are already free? You're already free. It's who you are. The good life is waiting on you. You're already free. The door's ajar. Are you gonna walk through? It's who you are. The good life is waiting on you. You're already free. The door's ajar. Are you gonna walk through? Stay awake and pay attention. You just might achieve ascension if you know you're already free. Do you know you're already free? Do you know you're already free? Ooh, already
And so now with our full hearts, let's bless these gifts together. We bless these gifts and the givers with our love and gratitude. Let's take a moment to welcome all of our visitors who are here for the very first time. So if you would, please raise your hands so that we can be sure to greet you. Yes. Yay. We hope that you've enjoyed your time here today. We hope you'll come back. We encourage you to complete a blue card that's out in our foyer so that we can get you a badge that you can wear the next time you come, and you can sign up for a subscription to the e-newsletter if you'd care for that. I would like to thank our music crew today, Kit, Rick, and Jeff. There's a thing that I have in my brain that you might have noticed last Sunday, in which I call our wonderful bass player Steve. I don't know why. It keeps coming back. Steve Stocky, he even had on a shirt that on the side said Neff, and he said it's Neff, but with a J. And so yesterday, during my many birthday wishes, I found one from Steve that said, "Happy birthday, Judy." So if I ever mess up and call him Steve again, then I become Judy, and there it is. And I want to thank all of you, so many of you that sent me the sweetest birthday wishes yesterday. I thank you so much for your generosity and your kind words, and I love you right back. Be sure to plug into Kit's online class this next Wednesday. You can go ahead, if you can follow the instructions and get into the class online from where you are, do that. If you're not sure how to do that, come on here and we'll work with you to get you signed up and online and working. Please plan to come to that safety training on July 29th so you can see how the AED is used. There may be some CPR involved. This will not be a time for certification, but we do have someone from the Pflugerville community who was with us last Sunday who would be happy to come at a later date and do certification if you'd like to be certified in CPR and AED usage. As always, our blue prayer request sheets are in the back table for you to put in our prayer box, yellow gratitude sheets for the gratitude jar, and our prayer chaplain, Courtney, is available after the service to pray with you. So now let us sing in our kids.
You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright.
There's a lot of happiness up here. A lot of happiness. Why don't we bless our children and our youth of unity together? We love you. We bless you. We appreciate you just the way you are. And now our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us.
I am the light of God.
The love of God enfolds us.
I am the love of God.
The power of God protects us.
I am the power of God.
The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. I am.
I release, I let go, I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm open for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm open for God. I release, I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm open for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm open for God. I release, I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm open for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm open for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm open for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm open for God. Have a great week, everybody.